Ladies and gentlemen, hello, my name is Maria Dismondy, children's book author and parent of 3, former educator, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so today I'm coming to you live from my home because I want to talk to you about fairness. That is what we are talking about, what we are focusing on over in Empowering Kids with Character, the Facebook group. If you haven't joined our group, head on over there. I'll put a link below. So when we talk about fairness, it's really great to use children's picture books because they give fantastic examples. So if your child comes to you and they say, you know, Mom, you let so-and-so get X for their birthday. I want X for my birthday. Well, what if the child who got X, and I'm not saying, I'm just trying to think of a specific toy. Let's say it's an iPod Shuffle, okay? So if you let so-and-so get an iPad Shuffle, I want an iPad Shuffle for my birthday. Well, it's tricky because let's say you got the iPad Shuffle for a 10-year-old and it's a 5-year-old who wants it. And maybe you don't believe that a 5-year-old should have an iPad Shuffle. So there's a lot about fairness and equality that needs to be explained to children. But when they're in it, when they're in the thick of it, it's hard for children to really recognize what the example is. So one thing you can do is use children's literature to explain the difference between fairness and equality. Because again, being fair is when we all get what we need, and being equal is exactly the same. So I have a couple books here that you can get from the library. The first one is Not Fair, Won't Share. So this one is a common preschool, young elementary problem that a lot of kids come up with is when someone will not share. And how do you figure out, without having the teacher solve the problem, how do you figure out what is going to be fair? A lot of times in our home, we will use the timer right here, right? We will use our Alexa as a timer, and that really helps out for fairness. So one person in our family might get a toy for 5 minutes, and when the time is up, someone else will get it. So this is a great example, a book that will teach children ways they can problem solve in the classroom. This book I read yesterday, and it is fantastic. Amy Rosenthal is an author who had passed away about a year ago. She's written several children's picture books that I absolutely love and adore. And my friend, after I talked about this on Instagram yesterday, she told me that this is the first book in a series of many books. So there are other bite-sized life lesson books by Amy Rosenthal. So what I love about this book is it talks about so many different character traits, and it gives examples using one thing that all children love: cookies. So I'm going to give you a couple examples. Cooperate. Cooperate means, how about you add the chips while I stir? So it gives children a solid example of what cooperation actually looks like and sounds like relating to cookies. Patient means waiting and waiting for the cookies to be done. Few more minutes. Aren't I waiting so nicely? Still waiting. And something really cool about reading this book is that you can go beyond the book and make the chocolate chip cookie recipe in the back, which we were able to do yesterday. We made some cookies. Proud means my chin is high and I sure do like the way my cookies turned out. Let me get to respect and trustworthiness. So many beautiful examples. Let's get to fair. Fair means you get a bite, I get a bite. You get a bite, I get a bite. Unfair means you get a bite and now I get the rest. Now here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen who are listening. I have been doing these Facebook Lives for many months, about almost 10 months. I've been doing them since January, one a week. They're about 5 minutes long. If you haven't been tuning into all of them, one of the things I talk about that is really important for us to teach our children at a very young age is emotional intelligence. And when a child has emotional intelligence, they are able to identify many different emotions. So this is an example of teaching children what many different emotions and what many different character traits really do feel and look like. And so when a child can determine many different emotions and characteristics of how they're feeling or someone else is feeling, they are more likely to be able to take a deep breath and handle the situation other than going right to anger or going right to frustration because they can't identify how they're feeling. So for example, today my 4-year-old, I picked him up from preschool, and he said, "Oh, Mama, I thought Papa was picking me up." And I was like, "Oh, buddy, I'm so sorry you're disappointed that it's me who's picking you up today." And my husband is getting home early from work today, so that's what I was telling my son. So he got a little confused about that. And he said, "Oh, no, Mama, I actually wasn't disappointed. I was just confused." So being able to understand the language and being able to understand what different emotions are really important for our children. So if you're just tuning in, I talked about 2 really great books that you can use to talk about fairness. Cookies, Bite-Sized Lessons by Amy Rosenthal. Not Fair, Won't Share by Sue Graves. And if you're interested in hearing more about character, I won't talk so long. I keep it to 1 minute daily. If you have an Amazon Alexa, go ahead and say, "Alexa, read my flash briefing." And
sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Okay, I'll try that again.
Please try a little later.
So what you can do is enable the skill called Empowering Kids with Character, and I will give you a 1 minute brief tip daily to use in your classroom and to use at home with your children that will bring in positive character into your home. So let's see if Alexa's working now. Alexa, tell me the news. Alexa,
here's your...
Tell me the... Oops.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding right now.
Christina, I think you're tuning in. I wasn't being patient enough. Alexa, tell me the... Oh, she's not working right now.
Sorry.
So all you have to do, if you have an Alexa, is you go to the app store or you go on Amazon and you enable the skill for free, and it's called Empowering Kids with Character. And again, you just will then say to your Amazon product, "Alexa, tell me the news," and then you will hear my 1 minute tidbit.
I'm having trouble understanding.
I think I need to unplug it or something. Have a good one, everyone. Bye.